Hello and welcome, I'm Elizibar. This is, well, you can see. I bought this just because it had Jim Starlin on the cover. Right there. Look at that, Jim Starlin. Midnight Rose, one shot. And I gotta say, it was okay. That's about it. It was okay. Review's over. It was okay. It's basically like, what if, how do I put this? What if you had a character with Poison Ivy's kind of abilities, but there weren't any other superheroes and there was no Batman or anything like that. You just had somebody with plant powers. What would things be like? We start off with some incredibly bigoted representation of people, and that kind of was off-putting. But we very rapidly kind of grow into stuff I can't show you. You know, she's trying to live life, right? She's trying to live life the way people do, and she's like, "Hey, I'm falling in love," and so there's them like getting hot under that. But you can kind of see things are not necessarily going so well in her relationship. Like she's crying, she's got some suspicions, then the suspicions turn into, oh man, she totally saw her boyfriend making out with somebody else, making time, and he drops over, and we're just kind of turn the page around to try to avoid like getting into too much trouble. You can see like she makes a little plant sprout out of him, and then we'll cover up her half of the bed. There we go. I'm still gonna have to mark this as like for adults only or something because YouTube's gonna be like all over me going, oh no, you showed some like PG-13 Ghibli bits, and I'll be like, yeah, you show way worse stuff on the front page of YouTube, but they don't care. So that's the setup for the story, and I thought we were gonna get into like at that point, right? We go from that to we got cops investigating the deaths of all of her former boyfriends. It seems like a pretty cool setup for like a police mystery thing, right? Like I thought that's where this was going. I was like, "Oh, this just got really good." But here's the facts. This police mystery part doesn't last very long. It just doesn't. We move on from this part of the story very quickly. I thought, we would spend some time, they're tracking a serial killer. I thought we'd get like some police procedural kind of stuff. And if that was the case, I think this would have been a really strong book. In fact, you could like base a story around something like that where you have a character being tracked by the police and she's killing boyfriends off or whatever, but she's not really a villain. They've done stuff to hurt her, like beat her or whatever. Like it's all justified. And I think that could have been like a pretty cool story because the cop's the good guy. She's not really a super bad guy, and they could like track each other around. You'd easily get like a good solid graphic novel out of it. More likely, you could get like an ongoing or something, kind of like the old Incredible Hulk TV series where you had the reporter chasing the Hulk around. We didn't get none of that, and that's my big disappointment with this book. She has an encounter with the police, and then very rapidly that's over and done with, and we move on to other elements of the story. And I'm kind of the way it all played out, the way it went down. Like I'm kind of okay with how it went because it shows her growing as a person. It shows her interacting with other people, uh, stuff like that, And it's like the payoff is like, oh yeah, this ain't bad. It's some pretty interesting stuff, but it's not what I got my hopes up for, and so I was left kind of feeling disappointed. I mean, I'm just kind of flipping through, and there's maybe 10 pages of this police stuff out of this whole book. And maybe if I had just read the back of the book, I would have had like a different opinion, a different idea about what I was getting into. Because then it would have been a bizarre tale of loneliness, loving what happens when you can't help but give into the vengeance growing deep within yourself. And then maybe I would have known that no, this is going to be a story about cops chasing her. It's just like her going through her life, which is a very different story. So this is If I had had different expectations, I probably would have enjoyed it a little bit more than it was. But as it is, this wasn't really bad. It just wasn't amazing. So maybe like a 6.5 out of 10 or something like that. We use completely arbitrary grading scales that mean nothing on this channel. So there you go. I wish it had been better. The art looks. Oh, yeah, hold on. The art looks kind of like somebody aping like 90s art styles, like trying to look like not really Liefeld or Jim Lee. I guess it's more trying to look like oh my gosh. I guess I was gonna name off somebody, and it's Mark Silvestri, kind of like looking like Mark Silvestri, or maybe trying to like ape Michael Turner or something. That's kind of what it feels like, and the art's fine. Like I got no real complaints against the art. So my complaint is totally just about like this wasn't the story I expected, and I think the story in my head that I expected was better than what the book gave. But the book still took us on a fun journey. All right, I'm gonna shut up now because I'm gonna like start getting weird if I keep talking. So you all take care of yourselves. You have a great one. Bye bye.